Okay, I should be on. I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the living God of Israel. His name means he who exists. Yahweh Shai is the one that everyone ignorantly called Jesus. Reason is because the letter J was created in 1524. The Bible, as we know it, is way older than 1524. So we know his name couldn't have been Jesus. And Rakakwadash is the proper and correct way that you say Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. Second and foremost, I want to pay homage to all of the great men that came before me, all of your great prophets, seers, priests, kings, right, that came before me, giving you guys this game, just as I am doing for you today in your modern day lifetime, such as they did for you in previous lifetimes. Yeah, gotta pay homage to them. You understand me? Got some videos, man. I wanna go, and because I've been digging off into prophecy, my last couple of videos, and because we're in a prophetic time, we always been in a prophetic time. We're just watching the prophecies heat up, which is a beautiful thing. It's always beautiful to see the prophecies manifest themselves off of the pages, right? That's why the Bible is the true and living book, right? That's the only book on the face of the earth where it's alive, okay? And what makes it more alive is the prophecies in the book, right? But I hope my video, everything is in sync with my video yesterday. I apologize for that. Satan be playing around, you know, when it come down to deep messages like this, he try to throw the ball off. I ain't gonna say he ain't powerful, but you know, and I know that the Most High God allow him to do what he do, you know what I'm saying, just to test us out and test our faith out, because it was a lot of things that ran through my mind after I seen that the video wasn't in sync, but I chose to keep the video and put it out, right, which I'm pretty sure he was pissed about, but he'll be all right. But hopefully this video here is in sync. But we're going to get off into more prophecy inside of the portal. You understand me? First video I want to go to is Apostle Tahar. If you guys are not subscribed to Apostle Tahar, I heavily advise you to. Please subscribe to his channel. And if you could follow other GMS brothers, me personally, I am not affiliated with the Great Millstone camps, but I do learn from them. You know what I'm saying? So if you tuned in to me and you listening to me, most of my ideology comes from based off of Great Millstone. If you have been listening to me long enough, you understand that the only thing dealing with Great Millstone that I choose to agree to disagree with is the New Covenant. Me personally, I believe that we are currently in a new covenant. Great Millstone has a different take from that. Somewhat. Not all the way, but somewhat. But I believe that we're fully in the new covenant because I believe that the new covenant was established when the blood of Yahweh Shai was given up when he died for our sins, right? The sins of the Israelites. Not everybody on the earth, but only the sins of the Israelites, right? I believe that was the establishment of the new covenant. Not the fulfillment of the new covenant, but the establishment of the new covenant. The fulfillment of the new covenant is when he makes his return, okay? And when we receive our heavenly bodies, okay? But to say that we're not in a new covenant at all, I choose to disagree with that angle. But everything else from Great Millstone is on point when it comes to prophecy and history, okay? So I advise you guys to really be tuned in to them and learn and get these prophecies and get the history down pat, because all of it is very important, right? All of you already in the present, so you already seeing what's going on. So if you know the history and if you know what's about to happen, you gonna be all the way guarded up, right? And the Most High requires us as men, especially as men, to gird up our loins, right? Because in the ancient world, when a man went to war, right, he would take his robe and he would gird it around his legs, right, to protect his goings, right? His loins, excuse me, his loins, right? So we're doing the same thing, just with our spirit and our mind, because we are in a current wartime, right? And always have been in a wartime when it came down to the Israelites, right? Because we are prisoners of war over here in America, Babylon the Great, right? But I'm going to start this video right here from Apostle Tahar, and I want you guys to pay attention to the scriptures, because lately the spirit been on him to give out these prophetic scriptures, right? And this video that he's doing, he's talking about the draft, right? And it's crazy that I did a video yesterday about the draft, and he came and he's doing a video today about the draft, where he did one today. That just showed that I'm connected to the spirit, right? So I'm about to start this video. Let me start it back.
It's dedicated to this. Shalom, real quick. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua Bashem, Makakuta Shalom to the 144,000, the rest of you elect up there, Shalom to all. And I'm going to entitle this video, I'm going to make this video super quick. Let's see where the Spirit leads me.
Which he didn't, because the Spirit was on him.
Nero 47 called for draft.
Right.
Joel 2 verse 20.
Let me pause it right quick. The reason why, let me pause it. The reason why Apostle Tahar and most of Great Millstone believe that, that you tell from the title, it says Nero 47. Nero 47 is talking about Trump. He's the 47th president, and we believe through the Spirit that he is Nero reincarnated. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You would have to go do historical evidence on Nero, right, in the ancient world of Rome. Right, and when I mean, Great Millstone isn't the only ones coming with that same ideology, right? It's just that they're the prophets. So, but you have secular ideologies also that also are in line with what Great Millstone is saying. Okay, if you got on Google right now, you typed in Trump is Nero reincarnated and go to images, you gonna see it, right? Because he's Nero back on the earth again, doing the same thing that Nero did to ancient Rome, burning this motherfucker down. But we're going to let Apostle Tahar continue.
Kind of precepts is in my head right now, dealing with, war, the prophecy of this end times war.
Pay attention to the scriptures.
Valley of Jehoshaphat, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Let the weak say I am strong.
Right.
Revelation 17 from 12 on down. The NATO and EU nations dropping fire on this place.
Right.
Russia, Ezekiel 38, of course.
Yep.
Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51.
Right.
Most of the book of Revelation, the latter parts, actually the sixth chapter, the 8th chapter, the 9th chapter, the 10th chapter. Most of Revelation goes into this end time scenario. Time of Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah 37, 30 verse 7. Daniel, even the scholars say they equate the time of Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 37, with Daniel 12 and 1. Matthew 24. Tribulation. When the Messiah called for tribulation, he's talking about Daniel 12 and Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Isaiah 14, the latter verses talk about this destruction.
Right.
The cockatrice, fiery flying serpents. Isaiah 13, that whole chapter, which is a short chapter, relatively short, that's dedicated to the destruction of this place. Isaiah 34, that whole chapter is dedicated to the destruction of this place.
America.
Revelation 18, that whole chapter is dedicated to destruction of this place.
Right.
Habakkuk 2. Amos 9, starting from the first verse. So, anyway, he called for a draft in a roundabout way. When you call for a draft, that means you're going to be dug in deep, in this war. You know, he first said it'll be a couple of days, then it'll go for about a week, then it'll go for no more than a month, 3 weeks to a month. Now they're talking about 6 months, and the last thing he said, they asked him how long are we going to be in this situation, and he said as long as it takes. That could mean the next 10 years.
Right.
We know we're not going to go the next 10 years in.
Right.
So he didn't expect them, according to reports, he didn't expect the people of Iran to. He expected them to give up, like Venezuela. That was like overnight. What was that, Friday night and the Saturday? This guy was already kidnapped, him and his wife, the president of Maduro.
Right.
The president of Venezuela, and they quickly put in the I think she was the vice president, and she's pretty much a puppet of Nero.
Right.
You know, the only thing that's holding it back, what am I going to say?
The mark of the beast.
You other camps, get with the program. Captain Tazariak, get with the program.
Right.
Bishop Nate, get with the program. Although Bishop Nate sees it, he finally saw it. Get a pat on the back, Nate. Finally figuring it out. That's just like you figured out Cornelius is an Israelite. You finally figured out that Revelation 13 and 16.
Right. It's talking about the RFID chip.
The MOTB, mark of the beast, which is the microchip technology. You did mention Karagma. You had Yuri Reed. This is maybe a year and change.
Right.
Maybe longer than that. Yeah,
but I'm gonna pause it right there.
Captain Yuri.
I'm gonna pause it right there. Y'all go check that video out. Very important video. Apostle Tar always drop important videos. You know, so go subscribe to his channel if you watching this video. His name of his channel is What is the Mark GMS Truth. Go subscribe and learn. You know what I'm saying? He even say on this video right here, if you're a newcomer, and I'm gonna say this, if you going on any GMS brother video, right, and you coming from me, you know what I'm saying, you coming from my zone, please don't go over there acting the ass, right? Please act intelligent, like you have some common sense. If you a lady, please stay quiet in the background and just learn, right? If you a male and you have a question you want to ask, and even my ladies out there that's listening, if you have a question that you want to ask these brothers, please ask them a question, but please refer it back to scripture. They do not have time for the foolishness. They are real men of the Lord. They are real prophets, right? You do not want to put yourself in a being judged because you chose not to act with intelligence and common sense and courtesy. All right, I have to say that. But most of my audience that are tuned in to me, you guys are very much in tune and very respectful, and I appreciate you guys for that. But before you know, because we are, and the reason why if you go watch this video, he goes deeper into the draft situation. He plays this video. Let me move that. It says Trump loses it over war draft, right? Because lately, if you haven't been watching the news, right, they asked, right, about the draft, right? And they say it's open. So your daughters, your nieces, your nephews, your sons, right? They about to go, right? Even those that's in my age range, right? The millennials, right? Early 30s, late 20s, mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s. You down there about to go too, right? We're in World War III, right? Some of you ladies, same, millennials, right? Even some of you Generation X brothers and sisters, right? Born in the early and mid 70s, right? Late 70s. You about to go, right? This is why you gotta have faith in the blood of Yahweh Shah to cover your life, right? Because you want a hedge of protection around your life where when this draft, not if this draft, but when this draft takes place, You want the Most High to have you covered where they skip over your name, right? You want the Most High to have you covered where if you do happen to end up in a concentration camp, you be all right, right? Or they skip over you, right? While everybody else getting marched to a concentration camp, you know the blood of Yahweh Shai is covered upon you. You don't even see one, right? But some of us do have to be martyrs for this truth. Some of us do have to go into concentration camps and even lose our life behind not taking the mark of the beast, because before the climax, like he said in the video, before the climax of World War III, which what we're seeing right now in the beginning stages in the formation of World War III, the mark of the beast has to be mandated upon the earth, the RFID chip, right? It has to be mandated. And then that's my next video I'm getting into, right? I want to show you guys. Now, this video is from 6 years ago, right? Now, if you go ask Google right now, what country did not shut down during the C-19 pandemic, right? Google gonna straight tell you Sweden. And what we're about to see is why Sweden didn't shut down, right? Why they didn't shut down at all? Because everybody over there is mentally programmed already to, and also physically, right? They already physically have the mark of the beast, right? They already moving in that wave. The rest of the world had to catch up, so they had to gradually put you in isolation to reform your mind, right? Like I asked my brother the other day, I say, name one store that you have went into that you didn't see a chip reader. He couldn't name one, right? He couldn't name one. Let's let the video play for a second. I hate commercials.
Got a car accident.
I fucking hate commercials.
Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000.
All right.
To work.
Let me start it over.
Doesn't need ID. When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID, and he doesn't need money.
This is about to be
much of
this
what
about to be in your reality.
Today is hidden right there,
right
just
there,
below the surface, in his hand.
Yep.
Like touch it?
Yeah. Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, grain of
She
rice.
seemed fascinated by
Embedded
it.
in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Hold up, stop.
Yeah, it's all
stop.
chip, so I
Stop.
can
Let me
right
pause
here.
it. Let me pause it. Let me pause it. It serves as his keys, his wallet, and his ID. See, in the coming future, man, you ain't gonna need none of those things. Social Security card, birth certificate, that shit about to be a thing of the past. Right? Yeah, they ain't even gonna ask you for that. They gonna ask you, where your hand at? You gonna try to reach out, well, I got my social, I got my birth certificate, they gonna, no, we need the chip. Right? All of that information is gonna be consolidated on that chip. Right? All the thing they want to do is scan. Beep. That's all they want to do. That's all they want to do. Your car, you're not going to be able to start your car. We're going to see in the video, right? The new cars that's coming, you're not going to be able to start them without that chip. Right now, it's happening because a lot of you guys have vehicles that you need a key fob for. But that key fob, that same chip that's in that key fob, that chip is gonna be inside of you. And the same programming that's of that key fob, they're gonna program that to your chip in your hand. Right? Let's continue.
The building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
Look at the vending machine.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Let me stop. Let me stop.
TV shows
Let me stop.
like
How many of y'all go to work right now and they got a vending machine in that motherfucker? Come on now. Soon you gonna be going into, how many of y'all done been places and they had a vending machine in there? I know vending machines right now, they don't even accept cash no more. Only debit and credit cards. Soon, and guess what? The chip reader on that hoe too. Right? But soon they ain't even gonna have the fucking slot for the debit and credit card. It's just gonna be the chip reader. How you gonna get some? Right? You might want you a little snack wherever you at. You might really be thirsty. But that vending machine don't take no credit debit cards. Only the chip, right? Let's continue.
Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards,
which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair,
Look
a
at Eve.
shipping event for those on the cutting
Look at
edge,
Eve.
merging their hands
Look
with
at the
this
black
new
woman.
technology.
Y'all seen her? I had to pause it. Y'all seen the black woman? She is gonna be the main motherfucker getting a chip over here in the United States of America. She gonna be. This is my shout out to Perry. Perry told me yesterday on my comment. He say, man, he say you the only one in the semen retention community that's bringing out valuable information. Everybody else talking about benefits. And I knew what he was saying. They not talking about prophecy, and I told him this is a tool, right? Semen retention is a tool, right, towards your spiritual journey. The black woman in America ain't spiritual. She fake as fuck, right? And I ain't talking about all I ain't talking about all the Negro women over here in America, but I'm gonna say 99% of them fake as fuck. She gonna get a chip. And as a man, right, reason why semen retention is important, because if you pussy whoop behind that hoe, what you think you gonna do? Right? What you think you gonna do? We gonna call it like it is. Because most men that follow women, you pussy whoop. You pussy whoop. Either you done got that pussy in real life, or you want that pussy bad enough wherever that hoe tell you willing to do. You pussy whoop. You understand me? This is what semen retention protects you from. Right? And we coming in a time where it's going to be very, very valuable, right, to be on SR, right? I walked every store today, and because of this war, because gas is at fucking $3.49 right now, these hoes feeling the pain, right? They done spent their fucking income tax money on these brand new cars, brand new whips, 6 cylinders, 8 cylinders, right? But they didn't see the war in Iran. Right, just like that hoe that was in Dubai, didn't see the war in Iran happening. So now she at the gas pump fighting for life. Right? She at the gas pump making critical decisions. Okay? Because she done spent all her money on the 6 cylinder, on the 8 cylinder that's killing her. You understand me? Killing her. Right? And I walk in every store, everywhere I go, and women look at me, and they all have the same look on their face, and it's that I need help look. All of them, especially the black woman, that I need help look. And they see me as a man that I am on SR, so there's a peace that comes from within. And I see some women, they get bitter behind it, because they don't understand what's going on. They just feel the energy, the masculine energy off of my aura, right? They feel the spirit of the Most High around me. And they don't understand what's going on, so a bitterness come over them though, because they already possessed with demonic entities, right? But they all had that look on their face, even them, the bitter ones. That's why they bitter, because they had that look on their face of, I need help. I need help, right? But if you're a man out there, this journey is going to be very, very important. It's important right now, right? It's important right now because it's a protection, right? It not only does it give you a spiritual hedge of protection around you in your aura field, but it also gives you a physical hedge of protection, right? You understand me? Because a lot of the men that's out here fucking these hoes right now, bro, when this time right here come around, right, when the United States mandate this bitch, right? Because what's going to happen with this war in Iran, it's going to collapse. It's going to crash the United States economy. They already got this right here in place. Your system already in place to accept it. Every store has a chip reader. So the infrastructure is already in place to accept it. Okay? So when this right here, when they mandate it, right, when your hospital start wanting it, right? And Trump, let me say this, President Trump did something while all y'all was watching the Super Bowl. He did something. He passed the Digital Currency Act. And it was a wicked but genius move on his behalf. Because what he did was, besides him, he made it where all the stores, right, all the stores and even the banks, right, if you spend over a certain amount of money, say about $200, right, the store's gonna have to do paperwork on you, right? If you go to the bank and you get more than $600, the limit used to be $10,000. He dropped it down to $600. The bank gonna have to do paperwork on you. So to keep these stores from having to do paperwork and wasting their time and go through the red tape and even get caught, hit with a fee because they chose not to do paperwork, what you think they gonna do? They gonna say, we don't accept cash anymore. We don't accept cash anymore. This is about to be in your motherfucking reality, right? If you can't see this, I don't know what to tell you. You gonna get destroyed if you take this motherfucking chip. It's better to lose your life than to take this chip. Let's continue.
I thought it would be fun, right?
Look at the white bitch. Hold up, let me pause it again. The white bitch say, that's why this is only for Israelites. God only concerned with niggas and Latinos and Native Americans and Puerto Ricans, Guatemalans, Cubans, Haitians, and Jamaicans, you know, taking this motherfucker. But everybody got to know about it because you don't know who bloodline, you know, from their father's side. You know, somebody might look like a Caucasian but have Israelite bloodline from their father's side in them. So that's why this word got to go out. That's why it's best for it. I don't care a fuck who listening to me. Don't take the chip. But if you're a true Edomite, you gonna be prepared like that lady just was. It looks fun. It's just something fun to do. That's how most Edomites thinking, right? We got certain motherfuckers amongst us is in the African American, so-called African American community. We thinking they African American, but they fathers go back to Esau, right? They ain't gonna have no problem with it. Then we gonna have the rebellious Israelites, right? They ain't gonna have a problem with it. Most of your rebellious Israelites is those that already belong to the LGBT community, right? They already don't want to be who they is. So when transhumanism becomes a real thing, what you think they gonna do, right? And Eve, right? The black woman, right? The Latino woman, the Native American woman, right? The two natures of a woman is to earn and survive. When she get in, when they take away all this shit, right? When the economy crash, she is gonna do whatever the fuck she gotta do to maintain. And as men, you gotta be mindful of that, right? A lot of y'all gonna lose y'all bitch y'all with right now. A lot of y'all about to lose y'all wife y'all with right now, right? Y'all gonna lose y'all children, right? And if you're female and you rocking with what I'm saying, and you like, Taz, look, I rock with that. I'm not fucking with that shit. Right? If that spirit is on you like that, guess what? You bound to lose your husband. You bound to lose your children. Okay? But it's better to lose your life, right, than to live in pleasure. Let's continue.
In a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete.
It's over with.
As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
but even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I mean, it's so much more data can go into this, you know, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Relblad estimates between 5 and 10,000.
Already.
Do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it will be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human microchipping may be our future, but in Sweden, it's already reality.
And it's going to become...
Harmon, NBC News, Stockholm.
Yeah, and it's going to become a reality. Let me get out of there. It's going to become a reality everywhere, right? That's going to be a reality everywhere, right? You understand me? That's going to be a reality everywhere. And World War III ain't going to see the climax of it, right, until this right here is mandated, right? That's why we need Yahweh Shai. That's why if you a man, you need to be praying that you part of the 144,000 or the 1/3. So the Most High can have, you know, bless you with spiritual powers. I got a video on here. Go check it out. About the spiritual powers that the 144,000 men are going to receive, right? And the 1/3 men, right? Because we gonna need it. We gonna need it, right? You can't go to the hospital. You get sick, right? Your people in them can't go to the hospital. They get sick. Somebody gonna have to lay some hands on somebody, right? You gonna need that power. Right, you got motherfucking robots and shit tracking you down, or you got family members that got this chip in them that feeling some type of way about you, not having the chip in you, and turn your motherfucking ass in. It's gonna get real for you, right? Cause they trying to get some, they trying to pull out for Judas and get some money on their chip, right? Mama gonna turn you in, daddy gonna turn you in, your baby gonna turn you in. Right? A lot of you guys are going to get the chip when you go overseas with this draft. Okay? And since I'm breaking up the draft, the reason why the draft is going to happen, and we're going to get into the next video, hopefully this is all in sync, man. I pray that this is all in sync. But if it's not, just listen to me and just, you know, understand and watch the videos. Everything will line up if you listen to what I'm saying. But my next video that I'm gonna get is looking bad over there for the United States of America, over there in Iran. Like Apostle Tahar said, right? Trump thought this shit was gonna be 2 days, and he thought he was gonna pull out some Venezuela shit. It didn't go that way. Now he talking about it can, you know, we gonna be over here as long as it takes, right? The United States military don't have that many soldiers right now, presently, for that type of communication. So what that mean? A draft is coming, right? Your sons and daughters are going to fight in this war, right? Your nieces and nephews are going to fight in this war. Some of y'all, your uncles and aunties, are going to fight in this war. Some of y'all, your mama and daddy is going to fight in this war. For some of y'all, grandma and granddaddy is going to fight in this war. Right? Okay? Because it's looking bad for the United States of America right now, and my next video is gonna show that. Right? Let's let it play.
All night.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna pass this part up. I'm gonna get to the brother. Right? I'm gonna get to the brother, because he gonna break it down. You know what I'm saying? I could let him play, but I'm gonna let the brother break it down.
Make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
What happened, bro?
Iran has to get the award for the most clever shit ever in war, bro. These niggas drew airplanes on the ground knowing how the U.S. and Israel work, because they know they ain't gonna come with no cavalry and do it for real. They're gonna try to bomb them. These niggas drew pictures of planes on the ground, and the United States and Israel just blew like millions and millions of dollars on bombs. They hit no targets. When they tell this story, how they lost the war from some graffiti artists, oh my God. It's great. It's crazy.
All right. And he right? And he doing all that laughing, she doing all that fucking laughing, and that's because, bro, these people still over here in the United States of America. Like I told you yesterday on the video, they safe. They feel safe anyway. But they're not that safe, right? We in a time of war, right? Okay? But yeah, it's looking bad for the United States of America over there in Iran. Like you say, they created 3D images of planes, and them dudes dropped all them bombs. Now the reason why that's so bad, the United States military already don't have enough military equipment, because when Joe Biden was in office, right, they were sending all their motherfucking weaponry, even with Trump, was sending all their weaponry to Ukraine. Now you need them and you ain't got them. And the ones that you got, you wasting them. So what that's gonna do? Leave you as an open target. That's like you know, you got a revolver, nigga got an AK over there, and you wasting all you wasting your 6 shots in that motherfucking revolver, and this nigga can go forever. Once your last shot out of there, you done. You better duck and get cover, right? But pride was gonna cause you to stand there and be like, I don't give a fuck, I am out, nigga, we gonna go at it. That's the spirit of America. They still gonna wanna go at it. And they gonna get put to death, right? That's why your sons, your daughters, your mamas and daddies, some of y'all granddaddy and grandmama, right? Gonna go over here to this draft, right? If you already, like I said in my other video, if you made a career out of the United States military and you back over here in the United States, right, and you working and doing, you about to get that phone call, man. Right, you about to get that phone call. Yeah, and when you get over there, you gonna get a chip. It's easier for me to locate you if you got a chip in your motherfucking body, right? And something happened to you and you die, I ain't got to think about who you is. All I got to do is go through, scan, beep. Okay, this was such and such. Right? See, they gonna sell you this chip off of conveniency. Right? It's easier for you to walk inside of the hospital, and besides you having to fill out all this paperwork and all that, no, it's just easy for you to just walk up into that desk and let that lady just beep. Right? It's easier for your child to go to school, and besides you having to go get shop records and, you know, have the birth certificate and everything there in place, it's easier for you just to have all that on the chip and they just walk inside of the school and the people just go beep. It's easier for the teacher to walk down the aisle, and besides her having to do roll call, it's easier for her to just go to every student and just beep, 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 and have a digital log on what students was present inside of the classroom. Right? It's easier for you to have a chip inside of you, right? And go to work, right? You can lose your fucking key fob, right? That fucking card that they give you to get inside, you can lose that shit. But we ain't got to worry about you know, being late or losing it if you got it in your hand, right? And with the Digital Currency Act, what Trump did, right? Because if you guys are invested in Bitcoin, I advise you to get your money out. Shout out to Shamika, because me and Shamika was talking about this, and there's a guy by the name of Dan Pena. Right? He's like a motivational speaker for young men, but he's very strict, very, very, very strict. But I like Dan Pena because at certain times in my life, his messages got me right. But he made a statement about if everybody knew who invested in Bitcoin, they'll pull their money out. Because once everybody do find out, Bitcoin gonna tank. But Trump already doing that simultaneously, right? But it's gonna tank harder once everybody find out. And I'm gonna tell you who it was: Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein is the creator behind Bitcoin. He's the brain behind it. Yeah. But what Trump just did with the Digital Currency Act, see, everybody is gonna have to have a digital wallet. Okay, but besides, like you got everybody really got a digital wallet now. If you're using Google Pay or Apple Pay, you got a digital wallet now. But besides your digital wallet being connected to your Apple account or your Google Pay account, right, or your whatever card that you're using, your Cash App card or your Chase card or bank, whatever card that you're using, your digital wallet card is going to be connected to the Federal Reserve Bank, right? Okay, and that's how you gonna be getting your deposits. See, your deposits from work and your income tax refunds and all that, that's no longer gonna be coming through, you know, your debit card or your direct deposit on your debit card. Now all that's gonna go through your digital wallet. right? Everybody's gonna have to have a digital footprint. Okay? We are here. We are here. You know what I'm saying? We are here. You feel me? The infrastructure is right around you. Nobody really uses, man, look, I ain't seen nobody swipe their card in a long time. Everybody I see with a card, you know what they do? They insert that bitch. Gradualism. Getting you prepared. Getting you ready. Right? Getting you ready. And most people, I don't even see them use the card like that. They using their phone. Getting you ready. Getting you prepared. Right? Getting your body used to that motion. Right? Hand the chip reader. Hand the chip reader. Getting your body prepared. Building up the muscle memory. Right? So when this chip do come, guess what? You ain't gonna think it's nothing weird. You already doing it. That's how most motherfuckers gonna think anyway. But most people are gonna do it out of fear. That's why semen retention is important. Right? 99% of your women are gonna do it out of fear. And if you a pussy ass nigga out there and following your bitch, you gonna do it out of fear of losing that hoe. You can say whatever you want to say. Man, you know, she got my babies. She gonna take my babies away from me. But really tell the truth, bro, you scared of losing that hoe. Right? You still under the happy life, happy wife mind frame. So you gonna get chipped up. Right? But most of your women gonna do it out of desperation. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Spirit. Out of desperation. Right? But this is a real thing. Right? This is a real thing. And I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep talking about it. And just like Great Millstone, y'all gonna get tired of me. You know, you gonna get tired of me talking about it, but fuck it. It gotta be said. Right? And you just gotta pray that the Most High had a spirit on you when it does become mandated all the way around you, which it's currently doing, right? When this economy do crash, right? Such as it says in Zephaniah chapter 1, right? You want the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, to have a spirit on you, well, you don't take it, right? You remember scriptures of my servant's gonna eat, right? My servant's gonna drink. You want to have scriptures like that written inside of your inward parts, right? Reminding you, right? That's why Isaiah 33 say, thy wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, right? That's wisdom and knowledge of you knowing that. That's gonna hold you on. That's gonna make that faith strong when you addressed in that moment, when the hour of temptation is, has come upon you, right? When you go to that school and that school tell you, look, ma'am or sir, we would take your child inside of the school, but they're gonna have to be microchipped for safety concerns. You want to have that spirit on you where you walk away from the system, right? You come out of her. Come out of what? Babylon, America, out the mind frame. And this ain't no, I'm getting on the plane and I'm going to move somewhere else. This is about to be global. This is a global, the mark of the beast is global. You ain't going to be able to board a plane without that motherfucking chip. Okay? This is global. But I think I have said enough for today. Like if something else pops off today, I would for sure inform you guys. But just keep tuned in to prophecy. Stay tuned in to prophecy. Watch the news. Watch alternative news, right? Because sometimes the United States ain't gonna tell you everything. That's why you got to be tuned in to other sources, other news sources, right? And tie it all back into the scriptures, to the prophetic scriptures. Make it line up, right? So you know how to maneuver. But on that note, until I see you guys again, I hope you guys have learned something. And until I see you guys again in the portal, I ask that Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah cover you guys. And keep you guys covered out there and keep your families covered. And right now, keep your head on the swivel. Because we got a lot of, you know, sleeper cells over here in America. And you might fuck around and go into the store at the wrong time. And that nigga scream out, Allah, Allah, and blow that bitch up. Okay? Right? You might want to go to the event at the wrong... I see I supposed to be getting off, but the spirit on me right now to say this. You might want to go out the country, or you might not fuck the country, because I'm pretty sure after that hoe, a lot of y'all ain't even thinking about going out the country. But you might want to go, you know, see your family and them in another city or state, and you fuck around and go at the wrong time, and you bump across that motherfucker that say, Allah, Allah, and blow that bitch up. Or shut down shop. Right? You might run across one of these white boys out here who can't take this pressure about to go in this draft, right? And walk in the store at the wrong time and shut down shop. Right? You got to keep your head on the swivel right now. Okay? Got to keep your head on the swivel. Don't be just walking out here la 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 la. Okay? We are in serious, perilous times. Okay? And I'm only telling you guys this because I got mad love for y'all that listening to me. You understand me? You know? So pray before you leave the house, man. Pray before you get in your car. Right? Pray before you go in that store. Pray when you come out the store. Right? Pray before you lay down. Okay? And on that note, man, I love y'all, man. And until I see you guys again in the portal, I ask that the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, keep y'all covered. I'm out.